Azerbaijan, Baku. Icheri Sheher. The story of Icheri Sheher, the heart of ancient Baku. Allow me to tell you the story of the inner city of Baku, known as Icheri Sheher, which translates from Azerbaijani as inner city. This is the genuine heart of Baku, where its history began. The birth of the fortress. Icheri Sheher is the oldest residential quarter of Baku, a unique historical and architectural ensemble that has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage list since 2000. It is located on a hill right by the Caspian Sea. Archaeological findings suggest that the territory was already settled in the Bronze Age, and a small port city existed here by the 1st century AD. However, its formation as a fortress occurred much later. Its heyday is associated with the rule of the Shirvanshah dynasty. In the 12th century, Baku was surrounded by powerful defensive walls, most of which have been preserved to this day. These walls, over 3 meters thick and more than 8 meters high, with 25 towers and 5 gates, served as a reliable defense for centuries. The breadth of the Bronze Age, the antiquity of Icheri Sheher. Archaeological finds and traces of ancient settlements tell us that the territory of Icheri Sheher was already inhabited in the Bronze Age. This hill, protected on one side by the sea and on the other by natural terrain, has always been strategically attractive. By the 1st century AD, a small but important port city had already formed here. The favorable location on the Caspian coast made Baku a key point for trade and naval expeditions. Walls that carry the centuries. The formation of the fortress. The city did not form as a fortress all at once. In the 9th to 11th centuries, Baku evolved into a large settlement with developed crafts and trade. However, the turning point was the 12th century, when under the rule of the Shirvanshah dynasty, the city was surrounded by powerful fortress walls. Just picture these walls. Their thickness exceeds 3 meters, about 10 feet, and their height is over 8 meters, about 26 feet. These were not just walls, they were a symbol of impregnability. Initially, the city was even enclosed by a double ring of walls and moats. Today, we see the preserved inner fortress wall with 25 towers and 5 gates. Every tower, every stone in this wall, is a silent witness to countless sieges, battles, and the turning of eras. These walls gave the city its second name, the fortress Kala. Labyrinths of history, life within the walls. The most amazing thing about Icheri Sheher is its internal layout. The streets here are not straight but narrow and winding, like labyrinths. This design was intentional. Defense. The winding alleys made it difficult for invaders to advance and protected the inhabitants from the strong winds characteristic of the Absheron Peninsula. Shade and coolness. The narrow passages created a saving shade during the hot summer months. Strolling here, you will notice how often the streets open up into the famous Baku courtyards. These are cramped, yet incredibly colorful spaces where life still bustles, preserving community traditions. In these courtyards, you can hear laughter, see old carpets and laundry hanging, and feel the true, non-touristy spirit of old Baku. The crossroads of worlds, the architectural melting pot. Icheri Sheher is not just a city. It is an open-air museum that has absorbed the influences of numerous civilizations. Its architectural appearance reflects Zoroastrian culture, linked to the ancient worship of fire, Sasanian and Arab influence, Persian and Shirvanshah sophistication, Ottoman austerity, and, later, Russian architecture. This synthesis makes Icheri Sheher a truly unique World Heritage Site. Here you will find over 50 historical and architectural monuments, including mosques, caravanserais, bathhouses, and, of course, the main symbols of the city, the Maiden Tower and the Palace of the Shirvanshahs. The fusion of old and new. Today, Icheri Sheher is a living quarter where people still reside. It has preserved its unique historical spirit while harmoniously blending the ancient atmosphere with modern cafes, restaurants, and souvenir shops. And for many, it will forever remain the location where legendary scenes from the Soviet film The Diamond Arm were shot. The era of the Shirvanshahs and their palace. The Golden Age, the capital relocation. The true Golden Age of Icheri Sheher began in the 15th century. Following a devastating earthquake in Shamaki, the ruler Shirvanshah Kalalala made a historic decision to move the state capital to the more secure and strategically important Baku. This decision ushered in a period of monumental construction. The fortress became not just a military outpost, but the majestic residence of the rulers. The Palace of the Shirvanshahs, a symbol of power and art. The main architectural complex of this period is the Palace of the Shirvanshahs. It is situated at the highest point of the fortress. It is not a single building, but an entire complex that was built in stages over the 15th and 16th centuries. The palace embodies the exquisite style of the Shirvanshah architectural school. What the palace complex includes: the main palace building, the building itself, which housed the ruler's chambers and his family. Traces of the rich life of the medieval court are preserved inside. Divankana, court/reception hall, a small but elegant pavilion with an arcade and a central octagonal hall. Its purpose is still debated. Was it a reception hall, a courthouse, or possibly a mausoleum? Its harmonious proportions and delicate stone carving are mesmerizing. The burial vault, built by Kalalala in honor of his deceased mother and son. It is a monumental structure with a magnificent portal, richly decorated with ornaments and inscriptions. This is a place of deep reverence. The palace mosque and bathhouses. The complex also included the palace mosque, built in 1441. Its severe architectural appearance and two graceful minarets, towering over the fortress, are an important element of the old city's silhouette. The mosque was intended for the needs of the ruling family and courtiers. Next to the palace, as is customary in eastern cities, was the palace bathhouse, hammam. Bathhouses in Muslim culture were not only places of hygiene, but also important social centers. The palace hammam, located underground to conserve heat, had several rooms and a complex heating system. The era of the Baku Khanate and decline. After the fall of the Shirvanshah state in the 16th century and a subsequent period of wars between Persia and the Ottoman Empire, Baku became the capital of the Baku Khanate, 1747 to 1806. Life continued within the fortress, but without its former splendor. With the annexation to the Russian Empire in 1806, the palace of the Shirvanshahs lost its residential function and was converted into barracks for the Russian garrison. This led to significant damage and reconstruction of many premises. Only through the efforts of restorers in the 20th century was the majesty of this architectural monument successfully restored. The mystery of the Maiden Tower, Gizgalasi, the unyielding symbol of Baku. If the palace symbolizes power, then the Maiden Tower, Gizgalasi, is a symbol of mystery and resilience. It is perhaps the most recognizable and most enigmatic monument in Baku. The tower is a massive, cylindrical, 8-tiered pillar about 28 meters, 92 feet, high with a unique stone buttress facing the sea. The wall thickness at the base reaches 5 meters, 16 feet. A chronology of puzzles. When was it built? The exact date, and, most importantly, the original purpose of the Maiden Tower still remain a subject of heated debate among historians and archaeologists. Ancient roots. Traces of structures dating back to the 7th to 6th centuries BC have been found at the base of the tower, suggesting this was a sacred or strategically important site long before medieval Baku emerged. Medieval construction. Most scholars date the current building to the 12th century, based on the style of stonework and an inscription found on the tower that mentions the master Masood ibn David. Functional disputes. Why was it built? O defensive structure, the most obvious function, given the thickness of the walls. O Zoroastrian temple, fire temple. Many historians believe that in the pre-Islamic period, the tower might have served as a Zoroastrian dogma, a ritual or cult structure, connected with fire and oil. O astronomical observatory, due to its internal structure and orientation. Legends carved in stone. The tower's mysterious nature has given rise to many beautiful and tragic legends. The most famous is the legend of the Khan's, or Shah's, unhappy daughter. The Khan, driven by his own ambitions or cruelty, decided to marry his own daughter. To delay the inevitable, the girl asked her father to build the tallest tower in the city, promising to consider the marriage after its completion. When the construction was finished, she climbed to the top, but seeing no escape, she threw herself from it into the sea. In another version, a saving groom was waiting for her in the water. This is why the tower was named Maiden, a symbol of unyielding honor and freedom. Service through time, from lighthouse to museum. The tower's practical function changed over the centuries. In the 18th to 19th centuries, it was used as a lighthouse, guiding ships in the Caspian Sea. With the growth of the outer city, the lighthouse's beam began to merge with the city lights, and its function as a lighthouse was cancelled at the end of the 19th century. In the 20th century, the tower became a historical and architectural reserve, and today it is a museum that offers a breathtaking view of the entire Icheri Sheher and modern Baku. This is why Icheri Sheher is not just a monument. It is the living breath of history that you can feel, inhale, and see with your own eyes. Dear friends and travel enthusiasts, if you are looking for a place where East meets West, where every stone holds a 1,000-year-old secret, and where time slows its pace, then the inner city of Baku, Icheri Sheher, awaits you. Visit this incredible place. Walk through its labyrinths, touch the walls of the Maiden Tower, imagine yourself on the Silk Road, and feel like a part of a great history. I promise you will be left with an unforgettable impression. Come to Baku and discover the heart of Azerbaijan.